Let us begin with the fundamental law that governs all manifestation, the law of assumption. This law states simply that your outer world reflects your inner assumptions. What you believe to be true of yourself and your world must be made manifest in your experience. This is not a theory or a pleasant suggestion. It is an immutable law. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. These words from Proverbs contain the entire secret of successful living. Your consciousness, your concept of self, determines the world in which you live. The conditions, circumstances, and events of your life are but the outpicturing of your immanent beliefs. Many of you understand this intellectually, yet you continue to witness unwanted circumstances in your lives. Why is this so? It is because understanding alone is not enough. You must apply the law, and the application begins with detachment. The nature of detachment. What do I mean by detachment? Detachment is not indifference. It is not a cold withdrawal from life or a resignation to fate. Detachment, in its spiritual sense, is the recognition that you are not bound to your current circumstances, that you are not defined by your present conditions, and that you are free to assume a new state of consciousness regardless of appearances. Detachment means releasing your grip on the how and the when of your manifestation. It means surrendering the need to control the process by which your desire will be realized. This surrender is not weakness. It is the highest form of spiritual strength. In the Bible we read, "Be still and know that I am God." This stillness is detachment. It is the quiet confidence that comes from knowing that the creative power within you, your own wonderful human imagination, is God, and that this power, once directed consciously, will externalize your assumptions in ways that your rational mind cannot conceive. So many of you struggle because you cannot see the bridge of incidents that will lead to your desire. You worry and fret over the means, desperately seeking to manipulate external conditions. This very anxiety reveals your attachment to appearances, your bondage to what is. And as long as you remain bound to what is, you cannot experience what could be. The impediment of attachment. Attachment to outcomes, to specific means, to time frames, these are the chains that bind your creative power. When you insist that your desire must manifest in a particular way, you limit the infinite intelligence of God within you. You say, in effect, I know better than the divine wisdom how my good should come to me. Think of the farmer who plants a seed and then digs it up each day to see if it is growing. Such impatience and lack of faith in the natural process would prevent any harvest. Similarly, when you plant the seed of desire in your consciousness and then constantly unearth it through doubt, worry, and attachment to results, you interrupt the divine process of manifestation. I tell you truly, the entire universe conspires to fulfill your demanded assumptions. But this fulfillment comes through a bridge of incidents that your rational mind cannot and need not construct. Your work is not to build the bridge. Your work is to assume the end, the fulfillment, and to live in that assumption while the bridge builds itself. The process of letting go. Now, let us discuss the practical process of letting go. How does one detach from circumstances while remaining committed to a desire? The secret lies in what I call living in the end. To let go is to transfer your attention from the problem to the solution, from the lack to the fulfillment. It is to dwell mentally in the state of wish fulfilled, regardless of appearances. This dwelling is not a momentary visualization, but a sustained assumption. When you truly let go, you no longer feel the need to check on the status of your manifestation. You no longer feel anxiety about when or how it will appear. You rest in the comfortable certainty that what you have assumed in consciousness must objectify itself in your world. Consider the words of Scripture: whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. This is the essence of letting go. You pray, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you believe, live from that state as if it were already externalized, and then it manifests, becomes objectifying your world. The great obstacle to successful manifestation is the tendency to constantly check whether your desire has manifested. This checking is evidence of doubt, and doubt is a confession of attachment to current reality. To overcome this tendency, you must discipline your imagination to dwell exclusively in the end, in the state of fulfillment. The mental diet. This discipline requires what I call a mental diet. Just as you would carefully monitor what food you put into your physical body if you wish to maintain health, so must you monitor what thoughts you entertain in your mental body if you wish to manifest your desires. The mental diet consists of systematically rejecting any thought that contradicts your assumption of fulfillment. When doubts arise, and they will, you do not fight them or resist them, for what you resist persists. Instead, you simply withdraw your attention from the doubt and place it back on the assumption of fulfillment. This practice requires vigilance. The world is filled with evidence that will seem to contradict your assumption. Friends and family may tell you that your desire is impossible. Circumstances may appear to move in the opposite direction of your wish. In these moments, you must maintain your mental diet most rigorously. Remember, the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. The natural man is your senses, your rational mind that accepts current reality as final. The Spirit of God is your imagination, which can conceive of realities that transcend current appearances. You must choose which you will serve, focusing on your own path. Now we come to the third aspect of our discussion, focusing on your own path. This is perhaps the most challenging aspect of manifestation, for the world is filled with distractions, with comparisons, with the opinions and judgments of others. To focus on your own path is to recognize that your journey is unique. Your desires, your timing, your bridge of incidents cannot be compared to anyone else's. The moment you begin to compare your progress with others, you have strayed from your path. There's a wonderful passage in the Gospel of John. After Peter had received instructions from the risen Christ, he turned and saw John following them. Peter asked Jesus, "Lord, what about him?" Jesus replied, "If I want him to remain alive until I return, what is that to you? You follow me." This is one of the most direct instructions concerning the need to focus on your own path. What is that to you? You follow me. These words apply to each of us. The path of another, their success, their timing, their method is irrelevant to your journey. Your task is to follow the Christ within you, the God self that speaks through your desires and guides you through your imagination. When you focus on others, comparing your progress, seeking their approval, fearing their judgment, you divert precious creative energy away from your manifestation. Every ounce of attention given to the opinion of others is an ounce taken from the assumption of your wish fulfilled. The correlation between detachment, letting go, and focus. These three principles, detachment, letting go, and focusing on your own path, are not separate techniques, but different aspects of the same spiritual practice. Each reinforces and enables the others. When you truly detach from current circumstances, you naturally let go of anxiety about results. When you let go of anxiety about results, you find it easier to focus on your own path without comparing yourself to others. And when you focus on your own path without comparison, you strengthen your detachment from external validation. This virtuous cycle creates a state of consciousness that is optimally receptive to manifestation. It clears away the obstacles that have prevented the externalization of your desires. It aligns your creative power with your conscious intentions, the true nature of reality. To fully embrace these principles, you must understand the true nature of reality. The world you experience is not an objective, independent reality separate from your consciousness. It is the outpicturing of your assumptions, the projection of your beliefs. The universe is mental, declares the Hermetic principle. All that you experience is created first in consciousness and then projected outward as experience. This means that to change your world, you need not manipulate external conditions. You need only change your assumptions. This is the great liberation. You are not a victim of circumstances, but the creator of them. You are not subject to the whims of fate, but the author of your destiny. The power to transform your life lies not in coincidence, but in controlling your assumptions about yourself and your world. The practice of revision. Now I wish to share with you a powerful technique for detachment and letting go, the practice of revision. Revision is the art of reimagining past events in a way that aligns with your desired self-concept and life experience. At the end of each day, before you sleep, review the events that were unsatisfactory or that contradicted your desired state. In your imagination, revise these events. See them playing out differently in a way that aligns with your wish fulfilled. If someone was unkind to you, imagine them being courteous and respectful. If you failed at a task, imagine yourself succeeding brilliantly. If you received bad news, imagine receiving good news instead. This practice is not mere wishful thinking or denial of reality. It is the conscious application of the creative power of your imagination to rewrite the impressions in your subconscious mind. Since your subconscious accepts as true whatever you impress upon it, revision allows you to replace limiting impressions with empowering ones. Through consistent revision, you gradually detach from the limiting story of your past and create a new foundation for your future. You let go of grievances, disappointments, and failures, replacing them with experiences that support your new self-concept. The inner conversation. Another powerful practice for detachment and focusing on your path is to monitor and revise your inner conversation. Your inner conversation, the things you say to yourself, and the imaginary conversations you have with others, reveals and reinforces your true assumptions. Most people's inner conversations are filled with worries, justifications, rehearsals of grievances, and defenses against imagined criticisms. These mental dialogues keep them bound to unwanted circumstances and diverted from their true path. To transform your life, transform your inner conversation. Imagine hearing the congratulations of friends on your success. Imagine discussing your achievement as a fait accompli. Imagine the conversations that would follow naturally if your desire were already fulfilled. As you discipline your inner conversation, you will find that detachment becomes easier. You will naturally let go of anxiety about results because your mental world is already filled with the evidence of fulfillment. You will focus more easily on your own path because your inner dialogue affirms your unique journey rather than comparing it to others. The Sabbath rest. There comes a point in the manifestation process where all the work is done. You have planted the seed of assumption. You have nourished it with attention. You have protected it through mental diet. And now it must grow of its own accord. This is what I call the Sabbath rest. In the Bible, God created for 6 days and rested on the seventh, declaring his work complete and good. This is a pattern for all creation, including the creation of your desires in manifestation. There comes a time to rest, to cease all effort, to simply know that it is done. This Sabbath state is the highest form of detachment. It is the absolute confidence that your creative work is complete in consciousness and must now objectify itself in experience. In this state, there is no anxiety, no checking, no effort to make it happen. There is only the quiet knowing that what has been planted must come to harvest. Many miss their manifestations because they cannot enter this Sabbath rest. They continue to work, to effort, to manipulate conditions long after the creative act is complete. This continued effort implies doubt, and doubt negates the assumption of fulfillment. Learn to recognize when your work is done in consciousness. Learn to say, as the Christ within you says, it is finished. Then rest in that knowing, detach from appearances, letting go of control, focus solely on the truth established in your imagination. The testing of faith, the period between the planting of your assumption and its visible manifestation, is a testing of faith. During this interval, appearances may contradict your assumption. Doubts may arise. Others may question your certainty. These tests are not obstacles but opportunities to strengthen your new consciousness. Each time you choose your assumption over appearances, you deepen your faith. Each time you detach from discouraging circumstances, you strengthen your creative power. Each time you let go of anxiety about results, you accelerate the manifestation process. Remember the words of Scripture, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Your faith, your persistent assumption that it is a means to acquire your desire. It is the substance of the desire itself, already present in consciousness, awaiting externalization. When doubts arise, do not fight them or fear them. Simply recognize them as remnants of your old consciousness, the consciousness you are transcending through your new assumption. Then gently but firmly return to your assumption, knowing that what you are conscious of being, you must become. The divine indifference. There is a state of consciousness that I call divine indifference. This is not apathy. or lack of interest in your desires. It is the serene knowing that your assumption, once firmly established in consciousness, must manifest regardless of appearances or time frames. Divine indifference allows you to pursue your daily activities without anxiety, without constantly checking for evidence, without the inner tension that comes from attachment to outcomes. It is the ability to live contentedly in the present moment while knowing that your future is secure in your assumption. This state might be described as earnest expectancy without anxiety. You are expectant because you know the law must fulfill your assumption. You are without anxiety because you know the law must fulfill your assumption. The certainty removes the need for concern. When you achieve this divine indifference, you will find that manifestations come more easily and more frequently. The very detachment accelerates the process, for it removes the resistance caused by doubt, worry, and overattention. The naturalness of your desire. Another key to successful detachment is to recognize the naturalness of your desire. Your desires are not random whims or egoic fantasies. They are the voice of God within you, calling you to express more of your divine nature, to experience more of the abundance that is your birthright. When you see your desires in this light, detachment becomes easier. You no longer feel that you are grasping for something beyond your desert or fighting against the order of things. You recognize that the fulfillment of your desire is as natural as the blooming of a flower or the rising of the sun. This recognition eliminates the sense of struggle that accompanies so many people's manifestation efforts. You need not fight for your good. You need only align your consciousness with it through assumption. You need not force your desire into being. You need only provide the conditions in consciousness for its natural unfoldment. As Jesus said, consider the lilies of the field, how they grow, they toil not, neither do they spin. The lily does not strain to become a lily. It simply unfolds according to its nature. Similarly, your desires unfold naturally when you align your consciousness with their fulfillment. The state akin to sleep. There is a particular state of consciousness that facilitates detachment and the impregnation of your subconscious with new assumptions. I call this the state akin to sleep, a drowsy, receptive state where the rational mind is temporarily quieted and the subconscious is especially receptive to suggestion. In this state, which you can enter just before sleep, upon awakening, or through deliberate relaxation during the day, your imagination has direct access to the subconscious. The images and feelings you entertain in this state are accepted without the interference of the rational mind's doubts and objections. Use this state to impress your desire upon the subconscious. Feel yourself into the state of wish fulfilled. Experience in imagination the joy and gratitude of having what you desire. Then allow yourself to drift into sleep or to return to normal consciousness, knowing that the seed has been planted. This practice, performed consistently, will gradually transform your dominant assumptions about yourself and your world. As your assumptions change, your experience must change to match them. This is the law, the freedom of consciousness. The ultimate secret of detachment is the recognition that you are pure consciousness. You are not your body, your circumstances, your history, or your possessions. You are the awareness in which all these things appear. This recognition is liberation. When you know yourself as consciousness rather than content, you can change the content at will. You are no longer bound to any particular set of circumstances because you recognize that circumstances are projections of your assumptions, not independent realities. From this perspective, detachment is not something you do, it is the recognition of what you are. You are naturally detached from all conditions because you are the consciousness in which conditions appear, not the conditions themselves. This is the meaning of Jesus' statement, be in the world, but not of the world. To be in the world is to participate in the experiences of human life. To be not of the world is to recognize that you transcend these experiences, that you are the consciousness that witnesses and creates them. The practice of I am. To strengthen this recognition of your true nature, practice what I call the I am meditation. Set aside time each day to sit quietly and focus on the feeling of pure existence, the feeling of I am. Before you identify with any particular attribute or condition, before you say I am rich or I am poor, I am successful or I am failing, there is the pure awareness of being. This awareness is your true self, your God self. As you rest in this awareness, you naturally detach from limiting conditions. You recognize that all descriptors that follow I am are assumptions that you are free to change. You are not inherently any particular condition. You are the consciousness that assumes conditions. From this state of pure awareness, you can then consciously choose the assumptions that will shape your experience. You can say with full conviction, I am wealthy, I am healthy, I am fulfilled, knowing that these statements define your consciousness and therefore must define your experience. The transformation of identity. Manifestation at its core is not about acquiring things or changing circumstances. It is about transforming your identity, your concept of self. When your self-concept changes, your world must change to reflect it. Most people try to change their lives by manipulating external conditions while maintaining the same self-concept. This is why their efforts so often fail. The external always conforms to the internal. Your circumstances are the shadow cast by your concept of self. To create lasting change, you must adopt a new identity. You must see yourself as the person who already has what you desire, who already is what you wish to be. This identity shift is the essence of assumption. When you truly assume a new identity, detachment from old conditions happens naturally. You no longer worry about how or when your desire will manifest, because in consciousness, from the perspective of your new identity, it has already manifested. You are simply waiting for the outer to catch up with the inner. The persistence of assumption. The final key to successful manifestation is persistence in your assumption. This does not mean effortful striving or constant affirmation. It means returning to your assumption whenever you become aware that your thoughts have strayed from it. Your old beliefs and assumptions have momentum. They have been reinforced over years or decades of thinking, and they will not be replaced by a single session of imagining. You must persist in your new assumption until it becomes as natural and habitual as your old assumption once was. This persistence is not a burden, but a practice. Like learning any new skill, it requires attention at first, but eventually becomes second nature. There will come a time when your new assumption is so deeply established that you no longer need to consciously maintain it. It will have become your dominant belief, your natural way of being. Until that time, gently but firmly return to your assumption whenever you notice that your thoughts or feelings contradict it. Do not chastise yourself for lapses. Simply correct your course. The more consistently you maintain your assumption, the sooner it will manifest in experience. Conclusion. The promise fulfilled. My dear friends, I have shared with you tonight the great secret of manifestation: detachment, letting go, and focusing on your own path. This secret is not new. It has been taught by spiritual masters throughout the ages in various forms and languages. Jesus taught it when he said, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." Buddha taught it when he identified attachment as the source of suffering and detachment as the path to liberation. Krishna taught it in the Bhagavad Gita when he instructed Arjuna to perform his duty without concern for the fruits of his action. This teaching transcends all religious and philosophical boundaries because it is not a belief but a law, as immutable as gravity. When you assume a state in consciousness and detach from appearances, that state must objectify itself in your experience. This is not magic or mysticism. It is the creative process by which all experience comes into being. I challenge you to test this law in your own life. Select a desire, something you truly want to be, do, or have. Formulate a clear assumption that would be true if this desire were fulfilled. Then live from that assumption while detaching from appearances, letting go of anxiety about results, and focusing on your own path without comparison to others. Do this consistently, and I promise you that your assumption must harden into fact. The seed planted in consciousness must grow into manifestation. The word spoken in the silence of assumption must become flesh in the world of form. Remember always, all things are possible to him that believeth. Your belief Your assumption, maintained with detachment and persistence, is the creative power that shapes your world. Use this power consciously, and there are no limits to what you can create in your life. Go now in peace, dwelling in the certainty that your desires are already fulfilled in consciousness and must by law externalize themselves in your experience. God bless you, my friends, and remember, imagination creates reality. Let me tell you a great truth that most of the world has yet to comprehend. You are not what you appear to be. You are not this limited mortal being trapped in circumstances. You are all imagination, and imagination is God. Therefore, you are God in the most literal sense, temporarily occupying a garment of flesh to experience your own wonderful creation. And just as God can speak worlds into existence, you too possess this same creative power to speak your world into being. Now, I know this may seem fantastic to some of you, but I am not here to theorize or philosophize. I am here to share with you what I know to be true through my own experience and the experiences of countless others who have applied this law. The transformation you seek in 2025 is not something that will happen to you. It is something that must happen within you first. Consider this: when you go to your home tonight and prepare for sleep, you will naturally disappear from this world of Caesar. Your physical body will rest, but your consciousness, your true self, remains ever active, ever aware. This simple act of daily disappearance holds the key to your transformation. For in that state between waking and sleeping lies the most fertile soil for planting the seeds of your desires. Let me tell you exactly what I mean. When you desire to transform any aspect of your life, you must first learn to disappear from your current state of consciousness. Just as you naturally disappear from this world when you sleep, you must learn to disappear from your present concept of self. This is not a metaphor. I am speaking of an actual psychological technique that, when mastered, will transform your entire life with mathematical precision. Now let us delve deeper into this principle. The Bible, which is not a historical document but a psychological drama, tells us, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." This transformation is not something that happens gradually through external effort. It happens instantly when you succeed in disappearing from your current state of consciousness and occupying the state of your wish fulfilled. Think of it this way: right now you hold a certain concept for yourself. You may see yourself as lacking in some way, perhaps financially limited or unfulfilled in your relationships, or restricted in your career. This self-concept feels solid and real because you have given it life through your attention and belief. But I tell you, it is nothing more than a garment you have worn so long you have forgotten it. It's not your true self. The secret to transformation in 2025 lies not in adding something new to your current state, but in completely disappearing from it. You must die to your present concept of self. And this death is not a physical death, but a psychological one. It is the complete abandonment of all that you now consider yourself to be. Let me share with you a simple but powerful technique. Tonight, when you lay your head upon your pillow, instead of reviewing the day's events or worrying about tomorrow, consciously choose to disappear from your present circumstances. Feel yourself sink deeper and deeper into the awareness of being who you wish to be. Do not think of how you will become this person. That is the old way of thinking that keeps you bound to your current state. Instead, yield completely to the feeling of being your desired self. If you wish to be wealthy, feel the naturalness of wealth. If you seek perfect health, feel the lightness and vitality of a perfectly healthy body. If you desire a loving relationship, feel the warmth and security of being deeply loved. The secret is to persist in this feeling until it becomes more real to you than your physical surroundings. You see, in 2025, you are not trying to change things in the world of Caesar. You are claiming your rightful place as the operant power of your universe. The outer world, no matter how solid it appears, is nothing more than a shadow, a reflection of your inner assumptions. Change the assumption, and you change the reflection. This is the law. I am reminded of a lady who came to me in dire circumstances. She was facing financial ruin, her relationships were in shambles, and her health was failing. She asked me what she should do to change her life. I told her exactly what I'm telling you now. Disappear completely from that state. She looked at me bewildered, expecting some complex system of affirmations or external actions. But I told her, your outer world is nothing more than your inner conversations objectify. Change your inner conversation, and you change everything. She began to practice this principle. Each night before sleep, she would disappear completely from her troubled state and assume the feeling of being the person she wished to be. She would feel the satisfaction of financial abundance, the joy of harmonious relationships, the vitality of perfect health. Within 3 months, her entire world transformed. Money came to her through unexpected channels. Her relationships healed in ways she could never have planned, and her health restored itself naturally. This was not coincidence or luck. It was the perfect working of law. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, my circumstances are different. You don't understand my particular situation? I tell you, circumstances do not matter. Your current situation, no matter how desperate or seemingly permanent, is nothing more than a shadow cast by your previous assumptions. Change the assumption, and the shadow must change. In 2025, you must learn to distinguish between what Blake called the reality and its shadow. Your true reality is not what your senses show you. It is what your imagination claims it to be. The world of Caesar, with all its limitations and problems, is merely a shadow. You are the light casting that shadow, and you can change it at will by changing your conception of self. Let me give you a specific technique for this transformation. I call it the art of assumption. When you wish to transform any aspect of your life, you must first ask yourself, how would I feel if I were already the person I wish to be? Then, in that quiet moment before sleep, you must generate that feeling with all the intensity you can muster. Do not worry about the how. The how is not your concern. Your only task is to remain faithful to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. The infinite intelligence within you, call it God, call it your subconscious mind, call it what you will, knows exactly how to bring about the conditions necessary for the fulfillment of your desire. Remember, in 2025, you are not trying to make things happen. You are allowing them to happen by assuming the right state of consciousness. This is why I tell you to disappear from your present state. As long as you remain mentally tied to your current circumstances, trying to improve them or fight against them, you perpetuate them. Consider the story of the prodigal son. This parable is not about a wayward youth who physically returned home. It is about consciousness returning to its rightful state. The far country where he wasted his substance is the state of consciousness where you currently find yourself if you are not experiencing your desires. The Father's house where there is abundance and joy is the state of consciousness you wish to occupy. The journey home is not a physical journey, but a psychological one. It is the journey of disappearing from one state of consciousness and appearing in another. And just as the father in the parable did not ask where the son had been or what he had done, your own wonderful human imagination does not care about your past or your present circumstances. It only responds to what you are conscious of being now. In 2025, you must learn to be ruthless with yourself in this regard. When you catch yourself thinking from your old state of consciousness, thinking thoughts of limitation or lack, you must immediately disappear from that state. Do not fight these thoughts. Fighting them gives them power. Simply withdraw your attention from them and place it fully on the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is what the scripture means when it says, leave the dead to bury their dead. Your old states of consciousness, your old problems and limitations are the dead. Let them bury themselves. Your task is to occupy the new state, to live from the assumption that what you desire is already yours. Now let me share with you another vital aspect of this transformation. Your outer world is nothing more than your inner conversations objectified. What are you saying to yourself throughout the day? What mental conversations do you carry on with others? These conversations, these inner debates and discussions, are creating your future experiences. In 2025, you must become aware of these inner conversations and deliberately change them to align with your desires. If you wish to be wealthy, what kinds of conversations would you have if you were already wealthy? If you seek perfect health, what would your inner dialogue be if you were already in perfect health? Begin now to have these conversations internally. This is not pretense or self-deception. This is the actual creative process by which your world is formed. Your inner conversations are the breeding ground of your future experiences. Change the conversation and you change the experience. This is law. Remember, the Bible tells us, in the beginning was the Word. This is not referring to spoken words, but to your inner speech, your self-talk, your mental conversations. These are the words that create your world. In 2025, become conscious of these conversations and deliberately choose ones that imply the fulfillment of your desires. Let me tell you of a gentleman who came to me seeking to transform his career. He was stuck in a position he hated, feeling trapped and unable to advance. I told him to change his inner conversations about his work. Instead of mentally complaining about his current position, he began to have inner conversations implying he was already in his desired position. He would mentally hear congratulations from colleagues, discuss his new responsibilities with imaginary co-workers, feel the satisfaction of doing work he loved. Within weeks, an opportunity appeared that perfectly matched his desires. This was not coincidence, it was the law in operation. Now, some of you might be wondering about timing. You might be thinking, how long will this take? When will I see results? I tell you, time is purely psychological. What seems to take months or years in Caesar's world can happen in an instant when you succeed in reaching the right state of consciousness. In 2025, you must learn to live in the end. The end is the feeling of your wish fulfilled. When you truly capture this feeling and maintain it, time dissolves. The events and circumstances necessary for the manifestation of your desire will unfold naturally and effortlessly. This is why I tell you to disappear from your present state. As long as you are conscious of time, as long as you are waiting for something to happen, you are not living in the end. You are still caught in the consciousness of absence, of wanting, of seeking. This consciousness can only create more wanting, more seeking. Instead, assume the consciousness of already being what you wish to be. Feel it so intensely that it crowds out all other thoughts and feelings. This is what it means to pray without ceasing, to maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled regardless of appearances. Remember the words of Scripture before they call, I will answer. This means that the fulfillment of your desire already exists. It is not something to be created. It is something to be claimed through your assumption of the right state of consciousness. In 2025, you must learn to trust this process completely. Do not be like doubting Thomas, needing to see before you believe. Be like the Master who said, blessed are those who have not seen and yet believed. Your imagination, fed by your assumption and sustained by your inner conversations, is creating your future now. Let me give you another technique for this transformation. I call it revision. Each night before you sleep, review the events of your day. But do not review them as they occurred. Revise them to match your desired state of being. See them happening in a way that implies the fulfillment of your desires. This is not merely positive thinking or wishful daydreaming. This is actively engaging your creative power to reshape your world. When you revise an event, you are actually changing the seed from which future events will grow. This is why the scripture says the former things shall not be remembered or come into mind. In 2025, make revision a daily practice. If you had an unpleasant encounter, revise it to be harmonious. If you faced a financial setback, revise it to show abundance. If you experienced any lack or limitation, revise it to demonstrate fulfillment and expansion. Do this faithfully, and you will be amazed at how your world begins to transform. Remember, you are not trying to change things, you are changing yourself. When you change your concept of self, when you succeed in occupying a new state of consciousness, the outer world must change to reflect this inner transformation. This is law. Let me tell you of another success story. A woman came to me in deep depression. She had lost her job, her savings were depleted, and she felt completely worthless. I taught her this principle of revision. Each night she would revise her day to show herself as successful, prosperous, and deeply fulfilled. At first it seemed mechanical, even foolish to her, but she persisted. Within weeks, her entire world began to shift. Opportunities appeared that she could never have planned. People from her past contacted her with profitable ventures. Her bank account began to grow. Most importantly, her feeling of worthlessness disappeared completely. This transformation didn't happen because she changed things in the outer world. It happened because she successfully disappeared from her old state of consciousness and occupied a new one. The outer changes were simply the shadow adjusting to match the new light. In 2025, you must become aware of another crucial principle. Everyone in your world is yourself pushed out. Every person you encounter is simply playing the part that your consciousness has assigned them. Change your consciousness, and they must change their behavior toward you. This is why it's futile to try to change others or to blame them for your circumstances. They are simply reflecting back to you your own state of consciousness. When you successfully disappear from a state of consciousness that attracts negative experiences, the people in your world must either change their behavior or disappear from your life. Remember, consciousness is the only reality. Everything else, people, circumstances, events, are simply shadows cast by your consciousness. Change the consciousness and the shadows must change. This is not theory, this is law. Let me share with you one final technique for your transformation in 2025. I call it the congratulatory scene. Select a scene that would imply the fulfillment of your desire. Make it a scene where someone is congratulating you on having achieved your goal. Feel the handshake, hear the words of congratulation, experience the joy of achievement. Make this scene so vivid, so real, that when you open your eyes, you will feel as though it actually happened. Do this night after night until the feeling of achievement becomes your dominant feeling. This is not visualization or positive thinking. This is entering into a state of consciousness where your desire is already fulfilled. When you succeed in making this state feel natural to you, when you can live and move and have your being in it, your outer world must reshape itself to match this inner conviction. In 2025, you must learn to trust this process completely. Do not be concerned with the how. Do not try to make things happen. Simply occupy the right state of consciousness and let the infinite intelligence within you bring about the manifestation in its own perfect way. Remember, the outside world is dead, subsisting only on the life you give it through your attention and belief. Withdraw your attention from unwanted conditions. Give your full attention and allegiance to your desired state. Live from that state, think from that state, speak from that state. Your transformation in 2025 is not something that will happen to you. It is something that must happen within you. When you successfully disappear from your current state of consciousness and fully occupy the state of your wish fulfilled, the outer world has no choice but to transform itself accordingly. This is the law, and the law does not fail. It operates with mathematical precision. Your task is simply to apply it faithfully, persistently, until your desired state becomes your natural state. Then you will understand the truth of the statement, all things are possible to him who believes. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, remember this: you are all imagination. The world you experience is simply your imagination pushed out. In 2025, claim your rightful place as the operant power in your universe. Disappear completely from states of lack and limitation. Occupy fully the state of your wish fulfilled. Do this faithfully, persist in it. And I promise you, your world must transform to match your new conception of self. This is not magic, not positive thinking, not wishful dreaming. This is the law of consciousness in operation, and it never fails. Let this be your practice in 2025. Die daily to your old self, to your old concepts and limitations. Be born anew each day in the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. Live from that consciousness. Think from it. Speak from it. Do this, and you will experience the truth of the statement, all things work together for good to them that love God. And remember, God is your own wonderful human imagination. The transformation you seek is already complete in the imagination of God, your imagination. Your task is simply to enter into that completion, to occupy it fully, to live from it faithfully. Do this, and watch your world transform in ways you could never have planned or anticipated. For in 2025, you are not seeking to add something new to your life. You are claiming what is already yours by divine. Imagine, if you will, that your current reality is like a garment you wear. It may feel comfortable, familiar, even inevitable. But I assure you, it is no more permanent or real than the clothes on your back. You can change it just as easily as you change your attire. The secret lies in your focus, in your ability to direct your attention and consciousness. As we step into 2025, I urge you to make a profound shift in your awareness. Instead of looking outward for validation, success, or happiness, turn your gaze inward. For it is within you that the true source of all creation lies. Your outer world is but a reflection of your inner state, a mirror of your consciousness. Now you might be wondering, Neville, how can focusing on myself change my reality? And therein lies the crux of our discussion today. Your consciousness, your awareness, is the very substance of reality. When you change your concept of self, when you alter your inner world, the outer must conform to match this new inner conviction. You see, the world you experience is not happening to you. It is happening from you. Every circumstance, every event, every interaction in your life is a reflection of your inner state. These are not random occurrences, but the outpicturing of your assumptions, your beliefs, your focus. This is why many people find themselves stuck in patterns of lack, of struggle, of not enoughness. They have unknowingly been focusing on these very states, giving their attention to what they don't want rather than what they do want. They look to the outside world to dictate their inner state, not realizing that it works in precisely the opposite way. But here's the liberating truth. You have the power to choose where you place your focus. You have the ability to consciously direct your attention to cultivate a concept of self that aligns with your deepest desires. This, my friends, is the key to transforming your reality in 2025 and beyond. So how do we begin this process of focusing on ourselves? The first step is awareness. Become acutely conscious of where your attention currently resides. Notice how much of your mental energy is spent on external circumstances, on the opinions of others, on things beyond your control. Simply observing this without judgment is the first step towards change. Once you've become aware of your current focus, the next step is to consciously redirect it. This is where the real work begins. For the next year, I want you to make a commitment to focus primarily on your inner world, on your concept of self, on the person you wish to be. This doesn't mean you ignore your responsibilities or relationships. Rather, it means you approach them from a different perspective. Instead of allowing external circumstances to dictate your state of being, you choose your state first and then engage with the world from that chosen state. For example, if you desire success in your career, instead of focusing on the obstacles or competition, focus on embodying the state of a successful person. How would a highly successful individual in your field think? How would they carry themselves? How would they approach challenges? Assume this state in your imagination, feel its reality, and then act from this assumed state. Remember, it's not about pretending or faking it. It's about recognizing that the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. When you change your concept of self, when you focus on embodying the state of the person you wish to be, your outer world must reshape itself to match this new inner conviction. As you practice this new focus throughout 2025, you may find that your outer world begins to shift. Opportunities may arise that align with your new self-concept. People may respond to you differently. You may find yourself feeling more confident, more capable, more aligned with your desires. These changes may start small. A compliment from a colleague, a moment of unexpected clarity, a fortunate coincidence. Do not dismiss these as mere chance. They are the first fruits of your new focus taking root in the fertile soil of your consciousness. Now let us address a common challenge in this practice, the apparent contradictions of your senses. As you begin to focus on your desired self-concept, you may find that your current circumstances seem to contradict your new assumptions. How do you maintain your focus in the face of these seeming contradictions? This is where faith comes in. Not blind faith, but faith born of understanding. Understanding that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. What you see around you is the result of past focus, past assumptions. It is like an echo of what you once believed. Your task now is to give more attention, more importance, more reality to your new concept of self than to these outdated circumstances. This practice requires mental discipline. It requires you to stand firm in your new assumptions, even when your senses argue against them. But remember, your senses only show you what has been, not what can be. Your imagination, informed by your new focus, shows you what will be. As you persist in maintaining this new focus on yourself, even in the face of contradictory evidence, you will begin to see changes in your outer world. These changes may start small, but they will grow. For you are planting new seeds in the garden of your mind, and these seeds must by natural law grow into the fruits of your new reality. Now let us delve deeper into the nature of this self-focus. When I speak of focusing on yourself, I am not referring merely to self-improvement or acquiring new skills, though these can be part of it. I am speaking of a deeper, more comprehensive form of self-awareness and self-creation. It involves the very way you perceive yourself, the stories you tell about who you are and what is possible for you. For example, when you achieve a success, how do you interpret it? Do you see it as a fluke? Or do you recognize it as the natural expression of your innate abilities? When you face a challenge, do you see yourself as a victim of circumstance or as a creative force capable of finding solutions? These self-perceptions shape your reality. For the year 2025, I want you to consciously craft a concept of capability, of worthiness, of unlimited potential. See yourself as the person you aspire to be. Feel the reality of being that person. Live from that state of consciousness. If you desire financial abundance, see yourself as already wealthy. How would a wealthy person think? How would they approach decisions? Embody this in your consciousness. If you desire vibrant health, see yourself as the embodiment of vitality. How would such a person care for their body? How would they think about health and wellness? Let these thoughts inform your self-concept. Remember, this is not about denying your current reality. It's about choosing which aspect of reality you give your attention to. It's about focusing on the self you wish to be rather than the self you think you are based on past experiences. As you practice this new self-focus throughout 2025, you may find that your emotions begin to shift. You may feel more positive, more hopeful, more empowered. This emotional shift is crucial, for your emotions are the fuel that powers your manifestations. When you combine your new self-concept with positive emotions, you create a powerful vibration that attracts circumstances and experiences that match it. This is the law of attraction in action, but it goes beyond mere positive thinking. It is about aligning your entire being, your thoughts, your feelings, your very sense of self, with the reality you wish to create. Now, let us address another important aspect of this practice, persistence. Changing your focus, shifting your self-concept, is not a one-time event. It is an ongoing process, a new habit that you must cultivate throughout 2025. You must be vigilant. You must catch yourself when you slip into old patterns of thought and consciously choose to refocus on your desired self-concept. This persistence is crucial because your subconscious mind learns through repetition. The more consistently you focus on your desired self-concept, the more deeply it will be impressed upon your subconscious mind. And as these new patterns take root in your subconscious, they will begin to manifest in your outer world with increasing speed and ease. But what of those moments when doubt creeps in, when fear arises, when the old self-concept tries to reassert itself? These moments are inevitable, especially in the beginning of your practice. Do not be discouraged by them. Instead, see them as opportunities to strengthen your new self-concept. When doubt arises, do not fight it. Fighting against a thought only gives it more power. Instead, gently but firmly return to your new self-concept. Remind yourself that what you see around you is the past. Your new focus is creating your future. This brings us to another crucial aspect of this practice, the concept of living in the end. Living in the end means assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, of already being the person you aspire to be. It's not enough to think about your desired self-concept. You must live from it, feel it as a present reality. For example, instead of saying, I will be successful, say and feel, I am successful. Everything I touch prospers. Instead of saying, I will be healthy, say and feel, I am the embodiment of vibrant health and vitality. Speak and feel as if your desired self-concept is already realized, for in the realm of your imagination it is. This may feel strange at first, even false, but remember, you are not lying to yourself. You are choosing to focus on a different aspect of reality, the reality of your imagination, which is just as real, just as valid as the reality of your physical senses. As you practice living in the end, through your new self-concept, you may find that your actions naturally align with your new assumptions. You may find yourself making decisions, taking steps that move you closer to your desires. This alignment of inner state and outer action is powerful. It creates a momentum that propels you towards the realization of your goals. Now let us explore the role of gratitude in this process of self-focus. Gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion, it is a powerful creative force. When you feel grateful for your desired self-concept, as if it were already realized, you align yourself with the frequency of its fulfillment. Throughout 2025, make gratitude a central theme in your self-focus. Feel appreciation for the person you are becoming, for the opportunities that are unfolding, for the growth you are experiencing. Even if your current circumstances seem challenging, find aspects of your desired self to be grateful for. For gratitude, like your self-concept, shapes your perception and thus your reality. As you cultivate this attitude of gratitude in your self-focus, you may find that more things to be grateful for begin to appear in your life. This is not coincidence. It is the law of attraction at work, bringing you more of what you focus on and appreciate. Now let us address the importance of self-love in this practice of focusing on yourself. Many of us have a habit of harsh self-criticism, of focusing on our perceived flaws and shortcomings. For 2025, I challenge you to shift this focus. See yourself with the same love, the same compassion, the same unconditional acceptance that you would offer to someone you deeply care about. When you make a mistake, instead of berating yourself, focus on your capacity for growth and learning. Say to yourself, I am constantly evolving and improving. Every experience contributes to my growth. When you face a challenge, encourage yourself. Say, I have infinite resources within me. I am capable of overcoming any obstacle. This self-love is not selfishness. It is not ego. It is recognizing your own divine nature, your own inherent worthiness. And as you focus on yourself with love and respect, you will find that the world begins to reflect this back to you. For the world is yourself pushed out, and it can only give you what you give yourself in your own consciousness. As we continue our exploration of focusing on yourself in 2025, let us consider the power of your imagination. Your imagination is not a frivolous faculty for daydreaming. It is the very workshop in which you create your reality. When you imagine yourself as the person you wish to be, when you see yourself living the life you desire, you are experiencing that reality at the level of cause. Throughout 2025, I urge you to use your imagination deliberately and consistently. Set aside time each day to see yourself vividly as the person you aspire to be. Engage all your senses in this imaginative act. See yourself in detail, hear the congratulations and admiration of the others. Feel the emotions of success and fulfillment. Make this imagined reality so vivid, so real, that when you open your eyes, you carry with you the conviction of its truth. Remember, to your subconscious mind, there is no difference between a vividly imagined experience and a physical one. By repeatedly imagining your desired self-concept, you are impressing it upon your subconscious mind as a reality. And your subconscious mind, being the faithful servant it is, will work tirelessly to bring this imagined reality into physical manifestation. Now, let's address the role of action in this process, self-focus. Some people strikingly focusing on themselves means they can simply imagine their desired reality and then sit back and wait for it to magically appear. This is not the case. Action is crucial, but it must be inspired action that flows naturally from your new self-concept. As you focus on embodying your desired state of being, you will find yourself naturally inspired to take actions that align with this new self. These actions will not feel forced or stressful. They will feel natural, even inevitable. For example, if your desired self-concept is that of a successful entrepreneur, you may find yourself naturally drawn to networking events, inspired to learn new business skills, or motivated to refine your product or service. These actions flow from your new self-concept rather than from a place of lack or struggle. This is a crucial distinction. When you take action from a place of lack, trying to get what you desire, you are actually affirming the assumption of not having it. But when you take action from the assumption of already being your desired self, you open yourself to infinite possibilities for its expression and expansion. So in 2025, do not neglect action, but ensure that your actions are aligned with and flowing from your new self-concept. Let your inner state guide your outer actions rather than hoping your actions will create your desired state of being. As we near the end of our discussion, let us reflect on the profound implications of this practice of focusing on yourself. By consciously choosing your self-concept, by directing your focus inward rather than outward, you are not just changing your thoughts or behaviors, you are reshaping your entire reality. You are stepping into your power as a creative being, as the author of your own life story. Remember, the world you see around you is not separate from you. It is the outpicturing of your consciousness, of your self-concept and beliefs. By changing how you see yourself, by focusing on the self you wish to be, you change the very foundation of your reality. So for 2025, be vigilant. Be conscious. Choose your self-concept with care and intention. Focus on yourself with love, with encouragement, with faith in your own divine nature and limitless potential. See yourself as already being the person you aspire to be. And as you do this, watch. Watch how your perception begins to shift. Watch how opportunities begin to arise. Watch how your reality begins to reshape itself to match your new self-concept. For this is the law of your being. What you assume and feel to be true about yourself must be reflected in your outer world. But remember, this is not about forcing change through sheer will. It is about allowing change through alignment. Alignment of your thoughts, your feelings, your very sense of self with the reality you wish to create. It is about entering into the feeling of your wish fulfilled and allowing the universe to orchestrate the means of its realization. As you embark on this year of focusing on yourself, know that you are embarking on a journey of self-discovery and self-creation. You are stepping into your power as a conscious creator of reality. You are aligning yourself with the infinite creative power of the universe. And know this, 2025 is just the beginning. It is the seed from which a new way of being can grow. As you experience the power of focusing on yourself to shape your reality, you may find this practice naturally extending beyond the year. You may find it becoming a new way of life, a new way of relating to yourself and to the world around you. So go forth with this knowledge. Apply these principles in your daily life. Be aware of your self-concept, of where you place your focus, for it is shaping your reality in every moment. Choose it consciously, choose it wisely. See yourself with love, with faith, with the conviction that you are a divine being capable of creating any reality you can imagine.
And remember, persistence is key. The world you see around you is the result of habitual thoughts and self-concepts. As you persist in your new focus on yourself, as you consistently embody your desired state of being, your world must reshape itself to match this new inner reality.
You have within you the power to create the life you desire. You are limited only by your ability to imagine and to feel the reality of your desired self. Embrace this truth. Live from this understanding and watch as your world transforms around you, reflecting the newfound mastery of your creative consciousness. Thank you, and may your journey of self-focus in 2025 be filled with joy, wonder, and the thrill of manifesting your deepest desires. As we conclude, let us reflect on the transformative power of focusing on yourself. This practice is not about selfishness or isolation, but about recognizing that you are the center of your universe, the creator of your reality. By directing your attention inward, by consciously shaping your self-concept, you set in motion a chain of events that will reshape your entire world. Remember, every great change in the outer world begins with a change in your inner world. As you focus on embodying your desired state of being throughout 2025, you may face challenges and doubts. These are not obstacles, but opportunities to strengthen your new self-concept. Embrace them with the knowledge that each challenge overcome is a step closer to the full realization of your desired reality. In your journey of self-focus, be patient with yourself. Change does not always happen overnight. Just as a seed needs time to grow into a mighty tree, your new self-concept needs time to fully manifest in your outer world. Trust in the process, have faith in the law of your being, and know that as you persist in your new focus, your reality must conform to it. As you move through 2025, let every experience, every interaction, every moment be an opportunity to reinforce your new self-concept. See everything as a reflection of your inner state and use it to deepen your conviction in your desired reality. Remember, the outer world is not the cause of your experience, but the effect of your consciousness. In closing, I urge you to approach this practice of self-focus with joy and excitement. You are embarking on the greatest adventure possible, the journey of self-creation. Enjoy the process of becoming the person you aspire to be. Revel in the power of your imagination to shape your reality. Celebrate each manifestation, each synchronicity, as confirmation of your creative power. Go forth into 2025 with the knowledge that you are the author of your life story. Focus on writing a story of joy, of success, of fulfillment. For as you do, you not only transform your own life, but contribute to the elevation of all consciousness. Your self-realization is a gift to the world. May your focus in 2025 reveal to you the infinite potential that lies within you. And may you use this potential to create a life beyond your wildest dreams. Remember, the only limits that exist are those you accept in your own consciousness. So focus on transcending all limits, on embodying your highest self, and watch as your world transforms to reflect the magnificence of your true being. I will share with you the most effective technique I have ever discovered. A practice so transformative that when repeated faithfully, it rewrites the very fabric of your reality. The power lies not in the complexity of the method, but in the persistence and conviction with which you apply it. What I am about to tell you is not theory, but law. It is as immutable as gravity, as serving as the rising sun. When you truly grasp this principle and apply it with unwavering faith, your world will shift with such precision that you will stand in awe of your own creative power. The technique is this. Take your desire, your wish fulfilled, and repeat it to yourself as a present fact, not as something that will be, but as something that already is. 100 times each day, affirm your desire as an accomplished fact. But the crucial detail that most miss, it is not the mere repetition of words that de-age, but the feeling of naturalness that accompanies your declaration. Let me explain the profound mechanics at work here. Your consciousness, your I am, is God Himself individualized. When you declare a thing to be true while occupying the state of your wish fulfilled, you are engaging the very power that created the universe. This is not positive thinking. This is the activation of universal law. Consider this truth. Everything you now accept as reality was once merely a thought, an imagination. Your current circumstances, your relationships, your position in life, all were first conceived in imagination before they materialized in your world. The outer world is nothing more than a shadow, a reflection of your inner assumptions. When you repeat your desire 100 times daily, you are not engaging in mere affirmation. You are programming the depths of your subconscious mind. You are impressing upon the substance of creation itself the pattern of your desired reality. This is why the feeling is crucial. Each repetition must be accompanied by the feeling of naturalness, the feeling that your desire is already a fact. Let me share with you a secret about this practice that few understand. The number 100 is not arbitrary. It represents completeness, fullness, the totality of conviction. When you repeat your desire 100 times, you are symbolically declaring its completeness in your consciousness. You are filling every corner of your mind with the reality of your wish fulfilled. But remember this vital truth. The words themselves are merely vessels. They carry the feeling, the consciousness of your desire fulfilled. As you repeat your statement, you must feel the reality of it. If your desire is for financial abundance, you must feel the security, the freedom, the joy of that abundance. If your desire is for a loving relationship, you must feel the warmth, the companionship, the deep connection of that relationship. Many of you ask, but Neville, how can I feel something that isn't yet true? Here is the supreme secret. In the realm of consciousness, there is no yet. There is only an ovo. When you enter the state of consciousness where your desire dwells, you are actually entering the reality where it already exists. Your physical reality has no choice but to conform to this new state of consciousness. The universe you see is not outside of you. It is within you. It is your own wonderful human imagination externalized. When you repeat your desire 100 times with feeling, you are literally rearranging the universe, because you are rearranging your consciousness, and your consciousness is the universe. Let me give you a practical example. Suppose you desire a particular position in your company. Instead of saying, I want that position or I will get that position, you would declare, I am so grateful to be in my perfect position doing work I love. Repeat this 100 times daily, but, and this is crucial, feel the satisfaction, the fulfillment, the joy of actually occupying that position. As you do this, something remarkable begins to happen. The people around you will begin to respond differently. Opportunities will appear that weren't there before. Circumstances will arrange themselves in ways that support your new reality. This isn't coincidence or magic, it is law. Remember, the outer world has no choice but to reflect your inner convictions. Just as your reflection in a mirror must move as you move, your external reality must shift to match your internal state. This is why persistent repetition with feeling is so powerful. It creates an unshakable conviction in your consciousness. Now, some of you might be thinking, but I tried affirmations before, and they didn't work. The difference here lies in understanding that you are not trying to convince yourself of something. You are instead occupying a state of consciousness where your desire is already fulfilled. The repetition is not to convince, but to saturate your consciousness with the reality of your wish fulfilled. Think of it this way: when you wake up in the morning, you don't need to convince yourself that you are who you are. You simply know it. This is the kind of naturalness you must achieve with your desire. Through repeated occupation of the state of your wish fulfilled, it becomes just as natural as your own name. The universe responds not to your words, but to your state of consciousness. When you repeat your desire 100 times daily with feeling, you are systematically altering your state of consciousness. You are literally becoming the person who has what you desire. This is why the universe must rearrange itself. It is simply conforming to who you have become. Let me share another vital aspect of this practice. As you repeat your desire, you must exclude all contrary evidence from your physical senses. If your bank account shows lack, while you are declaring abundance, you must remain faithful to your inner conviction rather than the external fact. The external will change, it must change, but only after you have firmly established a new reality in your consciousness. This requires a level of mental discipline that few are willing to exercise. It is easy to accept what your senses show you. It takes spiritual maturity to remain faithful to your inner conviction despite contrary evidence. But this is precisely what separates those who manifest their desires from those who remain trapped in their current circumstances. Remember, every time you repeat your desire with feeling, you are dropping a seed into the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. Just as a farmer doesn't dig up his seeds every day to check their progress, you must not constantly check the external world for evidence of your manifestation. Plant your seed through repetition, water it with feeling, and trust in the law. The law operates with mathematical precision. Just as 2 plus 2 must equal 4, your consciousness made conceit through repetition must produce its equivalent in your outer world. This is not theory, this is law. I have tested it countless times in my own life and in the lives of thousands who have applied these principles. Consider this profound truth. Your consciousness is the only reality. Everything you see in the outer world is simply consciousness objectified. When you understand this, you realize that by changing your consciousness through persistent repetition of your desire, you are literally changing the only reality there is. This is why the universe must rearrange itself. It has no choice. It is not separate from you. It is you pushed out. Every person, every circumstance, every event in your world is simply your consciousness made visible. Change your consciousness through this practice of repetition with feeling, and you change everything. Now let me address a question that often arises: how long must I continue this practice? The answer is, until your desire feels natural. Until it feels more real to you than the current facts of your life. For some, this might happen quickly. For others, it might take longer. The time required depends on your ability to remain faithful to your inner conviction. Remember, time is a human construct. In the realm of consciousness, where all creation takes place, there is no time. There is only the intensity of your conviction. This is why some desires manifest quickly while others take longer. The speed of manifestation is directly proportional to the completeness of your acceptance of your desire as fact. This is where the power of repeating your desire 100 times daily becomes evident. Each repetition, when done with feeling, deepens your conviction. It strengthens your acceptance of your desire as fact. It makes your new reality more and more natural to you until it becomes impossible for you to accept anything less. Let me share another crucial aspect of this practice. As you repeat your desire, you must also repeat the feeling of gratitude for its fulfillment. Gratitude is not merely a positive emotion, it is the acceptance of something as yours. When you feel grateful for something, you are acknowledging its presence in your life. This is why I often teach that the feeling of gratitude is one of the highest spiritual frequencies you can maintain. When you combine your repetition with genuine gratitude, you are not only declaring your desire as fact, you are accepting it as already yours. This combination is unbeatable in its manifestational power. Now let's address another vital point. As you practice this technique, you must guard your mental diet with the same care that you would guard your physical diet if you were training for an athletic event. Every thought that crosses your mind either supports or contradicts your desire. This is why the repetition must be consistent and why it must be done 100 times. The number 100 creates a momentum in your consciousness that helps override contrary thoughts and feelings. It builds a foundation of conviction so strong that casual negative thoughts cannot shake it. This is the power of persistence in consciousness. Consider how a river creates a canyon. It's not through occasional powerful surges, but through constant, persistent flow. This is how you must approach your practice. Each repetition is like a drop of water, seemingly insignificant on its own, but powerful enough to reshape reality when applied consistently. Your consciousness is like a garden, and your thoughts are the seeds you plant in it. When you repeat your desire 100 times daily with feeling, you are planting and nurturing the seeds of your future reality. Just as a garden doesn't spring up overnight, your manifestation may not appear instantly. But if you remain faithful to your practice, it must appear. This brings us to another crucial understanding. The law works with perfect precision, but it works according to its own timing. Your role is not to determine when or how your desire will manifest. Your role is simply to persist in the consciousness of your wish fulfilled through faithful repetition. Many fail in their manifestations because they try to dictate the how and when of their desires' fulfillment. This is a mistake. The how and when belong to the law. Your task is simply to persist in your new state of consciousness through regular, feeling-based repetition of your desire. Remember, the universe knows far more than your conscious mind about how to bring about your desire. It has access to infinite possibilities, infinite channels through which your good can come to you. By trying to dictate the how and when, you actually limit the channels through which your desire can manifest. This is why I emphasize feeling over forcing. When you repeat your desire 100 times daily with genuine feeling, you are allowing the infinite intelligence of the universe to arrange the perfect circumstances for your manifestation. You are surrendering the how and when while maintaining absolute faith in the what. Let me share something profound about this practice that few understand. When you repeat your desire with feeling, you are actually experiencing your future in the present moment. You are collapsing time. You are bringing the future into the now. This is why the universe must rearrange itself. You are creating a new pattern in the space-time itself. If you think about this, every moment of your life, you are in a particular state of consciousness. This state is made up of your beliefs, assumptions, and feelings about yourself and your world. When you deliberately enter and maintain a new state through conscious repetition of your desire, you are literally stepping into a new dimension of experience. This is not metaphorical, it is literal. Your consciousness is the substance of reality itself. When you change your consciousness through persistent repetition with feeling, you are literally rearranging the substance from which all things are made. This is why results must follow. It is law. Now, let me address something that often confuses people about this practice. Some believe that merely repeating words 100 times will bring about their desire. This is not the case. The words are simply tools to help you maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled. It is the feeling that creates the reality. If you think of it this way, when you are in love, you don't need to convince yourself that you're in love. You simply feel it. This is the kind of naturalness you must achieve with your desire. The repetition is designed to help you maintain this feeling consistently until it becomes your dominant state of consciousness. This is why I emphasize that each repetition must be accompanied by feeling. Without feeling, words are empty shells. But when you combine repetition with genuine feeling, you are engaging the creative power of the universe itself. You are literally speaking your new reality into existence. Consider the biblical phrase, "In the beginning was the Word." This refers not to mere verbal expression, but to the creative power of consciousness itself. When you repeat your desire 100 times with feeling, you are engaging this same creative power. You are speaking your world into existence. This brings us to another crucial point: the importance of persistence. Some of you might begin this practice with enthusiasm, but abandon it when results don't appear immediately. This is a grave mistake. Remember, you are reprogramming your entire consciousness. This takes persistence and patience. Think of it like learning a new language. At first, it feels awkward and unnatural. But with persistent practice, it becomes second nature. The same is true with this practice. At first, your new state of consciousness might feel forced or fake, but with persistent repetition, it becomes your natural state of being. This is why the number 100 is so powerful. It represents complete dedication to your new state of consciousness. When you repeat your desire 100 times daily, you are declaring to the universe that you are absolutely committed to your new reality. This level of commitment always brings results. Remember, the universe is not testing you. It is simply responding to your consciousness with mathematical precision. When you maintain a consistent state of consciousness through persistent repetition with feeling, the universe has no choice but to reflect that consciousness back to you in physical form. Let me share another vital truth about this practice. As you repeat your desire, you must also be willing to let go of your old self-concept. You cannot hold on to who you were and simultaneously become who you desire to be. This is why the repetition must be accompanied by a willingness to change. Many of you hold on to your old stories, your old limitations, while trying to create something new. This is like trying to fill a cup that's already full. You must be willing to empty your cup, to let go of your old self-concept, to make room for your new reality. This is where the power of 100 repetitions becomes especially significant. Each repetition is like a chisel, slowly but surely reshaping your self-concept. With persistence, your new self-concept becomes more real to you than your old limitations. Consider this: every great achievement in human history began with a change in consciousness. The Wright brothers had to believe in the possibility of human flight before they could manifest it. Edison had to maintain the consciousness of success through thousands of failed attempts before manifesting the light bulb. Your desire, whatever it may be, follows the same law. Through persistent repetition with feeling, you are creating the consciousness of your desire fulfilled. And just as surely as the Wright brothers and Edison succeeded, your desire must manifest when you maintain the proper state of consciousness. This brings us to another crucial understanding: the importance of maintaining your new state of consciousness even when your senses deny it. This is where most people fail. They allow current circumstances to pull them out of their desired state of consciousness. Remember, your senses show you the world as it was, not as it will be. They show you the effects of your past thoughts and feelings, not the reality you are creating through current practice. This is why you must persist in your new state, regardless of appearance. When you repeat your desire 100 times daily with feeling, you are creating a new cause. The effect must follow, it is law. But you must give the law time to work. You must maintain your faith in the unseen reality you are creating through your consciousness. Think of it like planting a garden. You don't plant seeds one day and dig them up the next to see if they're growing. You trust in the law of growth. You know that if you've planted the seeds and provided the proper conditions, growth must occur. The same is true with your desire. Each repetition of your desire with feeling is like watering and nurturing your seed. You don't need to know how it will grow. You don't need to figure out the process. Your only task is to maintain the proper mental and emotional state through persistent repetition. This brings us to another vital truth: the importance of living from your desire rather than for it. When you repeat your desire 100 times daily with feeling, you are not trying to get something. You are acknowledging what is already yours in consciousness. This is a subtle but crucial distinction. Most people practice manifestation techniques from a state of wanting or needing. This actually pushes their desire away, because want and needing imply lack. When you live from your desire, when you repeat it as an accomplished fact, you are creating from a state of fulfillment. Consider this: when you have something, you don't spend time wanting it or figuring out how to get it. You simply enjoy having it. This is the state of consciousness you must achieve through your repetition practice. You must repeat your desire from a state of having, not wanting. This is why feeling is so crucial to this practice. When you combine repetition with the feeling of fulfillment, you are creating a new pattern in the universal substance. The feeling makes it real in consciousness, and what is real in consciousness must become real in experience. Let me tell you something profound about this practice that few truly understand. When you repeat your desire 100 times daily, you are actually engaged in a sacred ritual. You are performing what the ancients called true prayer. Prayer is not begging or pleading, it is the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Each repetition, when done with feeling, is like a drop of water filling the cup of your consciousness. When the cup is full, when your consciousness is saturated with the feeling of your wish fulfilled, manifestation must follow. This is not magic, this is law. Consider how a mother feels about her child. She doesn't need to convince herself of her love. She doesn't need to repeat affirmations about being a mother. She simply is a mother. And this state of consciousness creates her experience of motherhood. This is the kind of naturalness you must achieve with your desire. Through 100 daily repetitions with feeling, you are becoming the person who already has what you desire. You are not trying to get something. You are acknowledging what is already yours in the reality of consciousness. Remember this vital truth. The external world has no power to prevent your desire from manifesting when you maintain the proper state of consciousness. Your circumstances, no matter how challenging they may appear, are simply shadows of past thinking. They have no power except that which you give them through your attention. When you consistently repeat your desire 100 times daily with feeling, you are withdrawing power from your current circumstances and investing it in your new reality. You are literally shifting the balance of power in your consciousness. This is why persistence is so crucial. Each repetition builds momentum in your consciousness. Each feeling-filled declaration of your desire, as fact, moves you closer to the point where your new reality must externalize itself. Think of it like learning to play a musical instrument. At first it feels awkward and unnatural, but with persistent practice it becomes second nature. The same is true with this practice. At first your new state of consciousness might feel forced, but with faithful repetition, it becomes your natural state of being. Let me share one final truth about this practice. The power lies not in the words themselves, but in the state of consciousness they help you achieve and maintain. The words are like a ladder helping you reach a higher level of consciousness. Once you reach that level, you must live there. This is why I say to repeat your desire 100 times daily. This repetition helps you maintain your new state of consciousness until it becomes your natural state of being. And when this happens, when your desired state becomes your natural state, the universe has no choice but to conform to your consciousness. Remember, you are not trying to convince the universe to give you something. You are declaring what is already yours in consciousness. Through persistent repetition with feeling, you are making your desire so real in consciousness that it must manifest in experience. This is the law of consciousness, and it never fails. What you accept as true in consciousness must manifest in your world. This is why the universe rearranges itself to accommodate your picture of reality, because your consciousness is reality. Practice this technique faithfully. Repeat your desire 100 times daily with genuine feeling. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled. Do this and watch as the universe rearranges itself to match your new state of consciousness. For this is the law, and the law never fails. Imagine, if you will, that the universe is not some distant impersonal force, but rather an intimate part of your very being. It is the canvas upon which you paint the masterpiece of your life, responding to every brushstroke of your imagination. To learn how to talk to the universe is to master the art of creation itself. Let us begin by understanding that your thoughts, your feelings, and your deepest beliefs are the language through which you converse with this infinite intelligence. Every moment of your day, whether you are conscious of it or not, you are engaged in a continuous dialogue with the universe. The question is, are you speaking the language of lack and limitation? Or are you articulating a symphony of abundance and possibility? The universe, in its infinite wisdom, does not judge your desires. It does not deem one wish more worthy than another. It simply responds to the vibration of your being, to the unwavering certainty of your imagination. When you learn to align your inner conversations with the outcomes you desire, you tap into a power that can reshape the very fabric of your reality. Consider for a moment the times when you have wanted something deeply. Perhaps it was a new job, a loving relationship, or a sense of inner peace. Did you approach these desires with a sense of lack, constantly affirming to yourself and the universe that you did not have them? Or did you embrace the feeling of already possessing that which you sought? This, my friends, is the crux of effective communication with the universe. It is not enough to merely wish for something. You must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You must live from the end, experiencing in your imagination the joy, the satisfaction, and the gratitude of already having received your desire. Let me share with you a fundamental truth that has the power to transform your life. The universe knows no distinction between what you vividly imagine and what you consider to be reality. Your imagination is the very workshop wherein you forge the instruments of your future experiences. When you imagine with feeling, with conviction, you are literally shaping the course of events to come. But how, you may ask, does one begin this practice of imagination? How does one learn to speak so convincingly to the universe? The answer lies in the art of revision and in the cultivation of a disciplined imagination. Revision is the process by which you rewrite the script of your past and present experiences. If you have encountered a situation that was less than desirable, do not let it calcify into a fixed point in your personal history. Instead, reimagine it. See it play out in your mind's eye exactly as you would have wished it to be. Feel the emotions associated with this new version of events. Let every fiber of your being resonate with the joy and satisfaction of this revised experience. By engaging in this practice, you are not merely indulging in wishful thinking. You are actively recalibrating your relationship with the universe. You are demonstrating your power as a conscious creator, showing the universe that you are no longer willing to be a passive recipient of circumstances, but rather an active participant in the shaping of your reality. As you become more adept at revision, you will find that your natural state becomes one of positive expectation. You will approach each day with the certainty that wonderful things are unfolding for you. Shift in consciousness is profound, for it alters the very frequency at which you vibrate, attracting experiences that resonate with your new state of being. Now let us delve deeper into the practice of disciplined imagination. Your imagination is not merely a playground for idle fantasies. It is the most powerful creative force at your disposal. When you learn to direct your imagination with purpose and precision, you are literally programming the universe to respond in kind. Begin by setting aside time each day for focused imaginal work. Find a quiet space where you can relax and allow your mind to become receptive. Close your eyes and begin to construct in your mind's eye a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. Make it as vivid and as detailed as possible. Engage all your senses. If you desire a new home, feel the texture of the doorknob as you enter. Smell the fresh scent of your favorite flowers arranged in the entryway. Hear the sound of laughter echoing through spacious rooms. As you construct this scene, allow yourself to become fully absorbed in it. Do not merely observe it as a spectator, but step into it as an active participant. Feel the emotions that would naturally accompany the realization of your desire. Let joy, gratitude, and a deep sense of fulfillment wash over you. This imaginal act is not a mere rehearsal for some future event. It is in the deepest sense the event itself. For in the realm of imagination, where all possibilities exist simultaneously, you have already received that which you desire. Your task now is to remain faithful to this imaginal act, to return to it night after night, impressing it ever more deeply upon your subconscious mind. As you persist in this practice, you will begin to notice subtle shifts in your outer world. Circumstances will begin to rearrange themselves, almost magically, to bring about the conditions necessary for the realization of your imagined state. People, events, and opportunities will appear in your life as if summoned by an unseen hand. This is the universe responding to your inner conversation, to the unwavering certainty of your imagined reality. But remember, my dear friends, that this practice requires patience and persistence. The seed of your desire, once planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, must be given time to germinate and grow. Do not dig it up every day to see if it has sprouted. Trust in the unseen forces that are working on your behalf. Your role is to maintain an unwavering faith in the reality of your imagined state. This faith is not a blind hope that something might happen in some distant future. It is a deep knowing, a profound certainty that on a level beyond physical sight, your desire is already fulfilled. As you cultivate this faith, you will find that your entire perception of the world begins to shift. You will start to see evidence of your desire manifesting everywhere you look. This is not mere coincidence. It is the natural result of your aligned inner conversation with the universe. Let us now explore another powerful aspect of communicating with the universe, the use of affirmative prayer. Unlike traditional forms of prayer, which often come from a place of lack or supplication, affirmative prayer is a declaration of that which is already true in the realm of imagination. When you engage in affirmative prayer, you are not asking the universe for something you do not have. Instead, you are acknowledging and giving thanks for that which is already yours in the invisible realm of potential. This form of prayer aligns you with the creative power of the universe, allowing you to speak your desires into existence with authority and conviction. Begin your affirmative prayers with phrases such as, "I am so happy and grateful now that," or "Isn't it wonderful that?" Follow these openings with statements that describe your desire as if it were already a present fact. Feel the emotion of gratitude wash over you as you articulate these statements. Let every word resonate with the certainty of your imagined reality. As you make this practice a regular part of your day, you will find that your entire being begins to vibrate at the frequency of your desires. You become a living, breathing affirmation of the life you wish to create. The universe, ever responsive to the signals you emit, will begin to mirror back to you the reality you have so clearly defined in your imagination. But let us not forget, my friends, that effective communication with the universe is not a one-way street. It is not merely about broadcasting your desires into the void. It is also about developing the ability to listen, to attune yourself to the subtle guidance that is always available to you. This guidance often comes in the form of intuition, those quiet hunches and inner promptings that seem to arise from nowhere. As you cultivate your relationship with the universe, you will find that these intuitive flashes become more frequent and more pronounced. They are the universe's way of directing you toward the path of least resistance to the manifestation of your desires. Learn to trust these intuitive nudges. Act on them, even when they seem to defy conventional logic. For in following your intuition, you are aligning yourself with the infinite intelligence of the universe. which sees the bigger picture and knows the shortest route to the fulfillment of your desires. As you become more adept at listening to this inner guidance, you will find that your life begins to flow with an effortless grace. Doors will open where before there were walls. Synchronicities will abound, as if the entire universe is conspiring to bring you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. Now let us address a crucial aspect of communicating with the universe that is often overlooked, the importance of detachment. This may seem paradoxical at first. How can you be detached from something you desire so deeply? The key lies in understanding that detachment does not mean indifference. It means releasing your grip on the how and when of your manifestation. When you cling too tightly to a specific outcome or timeline, you create resistance. You send a message to the universe that you do not trust its infinite wisdom to bring about your desire in the best possible way. This resistance can actually slow down or even prevent the manifestation of your desires. Instead, cultivate an attitude of relaxed expectancy. Know with absolute certainty that your desire is fulfilled in the invisible realm, and trust that it will materialize in the physical world in divine timing. This state of relaxed expectancy allows the universe to work on your behalf, orchestrating events and circumstances in ways that your limited human perspective could never conceive. Remember, the universe has access to infinite possibilities. By remaining open and detached, you allow it to bring about your desire in ways that may far exceed your original vision. You may find that what manifests is even better than what you had initially imagined. As you practice this art of detached manifestation, you will discover a profound sense of peace and trust in the unfolding of your life. You will no longer feel the need to control every aspect of your experience. Instead, you will move through life with a sense of excited anticipation, knowing that wonderful things are constantly unfolding for you. Let us now delve into another powerful technique for communicating with the universe: the use of symbolic representation. The subconscious mind, which is your direct link to the creative power of the universe, thinks in symbols and images. By consciously choosing and working with symbols that represent your desires, you can bypass the critical faculty of your conscious mind and impress your intentions more deeply upon the subconscious. Choose a symbol that for you represents the fulfillment of your desire. It could be an object, a color, a number, or even a simple geometric shape. Infuse this symbol with meaning through your focused attention and emotion. See it in your mind's eye, associated with the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and carry it with you throughout your day. You might wear jewelry that incorporates your chosen symbol or place representations of it around your living space. Each time you encounter this symbol, let it serve a reminder of your commitment to your desire. Feel once again the emotion of having already received that which you seek. This practice creates a powerful feedback loop between your conscious intentions and your subconscious mind. Over time, the mere sight of your chosen symbol will automatically evoke the feeling of your wish fulfilled, reinforcing your communication with the universe and accelerating the manifestation process. Now, my dear friends, let us address a question that often arises when one begins to seriously engage with the practice of conscious creation. What about the desires and free will of others? How can we communicate our desires to the universe without infringing upon the autonomy of those around us? The answer lies in understanding the true nature of creation. When you imagine a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire, you are not manipulating others or bending them to your will. You are simply aligning yourself with a version of reality in which your desire is fulfilled. The universe, in its infinite wisdom and creativity, will bring about the circumstances necessary for the realization of your imagined state in a way that honors the free will of all involved. Your task is not to dictate the specific actions of others, but to hold steadfast to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Trust that the universe will orchestrate events in a way that serves the highest good of all concerned. This approach allows for the manifestation of your desires while maintaining respect for the divine spark within every individual. As you deepen your practice of communicating with the universe, you may find that your desires themselves begin to shift and evolve. This is a natural and beautiful part of the process. As you align more closely with your true self and the infinite potential within you, you may discover that what you once thought you possessed pales in comparison to the grand vision that now unfolds before you. Embrace these shifts in desire. They are signs of your spiritual growth and expanding consciousness. The universe is guiding you toward experiences that will bring you the greatest joy and fulfillment, even if they differ from what you initially set out to manifest. This brings us to another crucial aspect of effective communication with the universe, the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is not merely a polite response to receiving something you desire. It is a powerful creative force in its own right. When you cultivate an attitude of genuine gratitude, you align yourself with the abundance of the universe. Begin and end each day by counting your blessings. Take time to truly feel grateful for all that you already have in your life. This practice shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is present, abundant and beautiful in your experience. As you do this, you will find that more and more things come into your life for which to be grateful. Moreover, practice gratitude for your desires as if they were already fulfilled. Give thanks for the perfect job, the ideal relationship, the radiant health that you seek to manifest. Feel the emotion of gratitude as intensely as you can, knowing that in the realm of pure potential, your desire is already a reality. This practice of preemptive gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to communicate your desires to the universe. It aligns your entire being with the frequency of abundance and receptivity. The universe responds to this vibration by bringing you more experiences that match this feeling of gratitude and fulfillment. As you become more adept at communicating with the universe, you will find that your life takes on a quality of magic and wonder. Synchronicities will abound. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting exactly the right people to assist you on your journey. This is not mere coincidence. It is the natural result of your aligned communication with the infinite intelligence that permeates all of existence. But remember, my friends, that with this power comes responsibility. As you learn to consciously create your reality, it becomes increasingly important to examine your deepest beliefs and intentions. Are you creating from a place of love, abundance, and a desire to contribute to the greater good? Or are you motivated by fear, lack, or the need to control others? The universe will respond to whatever seed you plant in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. Therefore, it is crucial to cultivate thoughts, beliefs, and intentions that are in harmony with your highest self and the greatest good of all. As you do this, you become a powerful force for positive change in the world. Your very being radiating love, joy, and abundance to all those around you. Let us now explore the concept of living in the end. This principle is at the heart of effective communication with the universe. To live in the end means to inhabit, in your imagination and your emotional state, the reality where your desire is already fulfilled. It means to think, feel, and act from the perspective of already being the person who has received that which you seek. This practice requires a radical shift in consciousness. Instead of seeing your desire as something in the future that you must strive and struggle to attain, you recognize it as a present fact in the invisible realm of potential. Your task is simply to align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with this already existing reality. Begin by asking yourself, how would I think, feel, and act if my desire were already fulfilled? What would my daily routine look like? How would I carry myself? What kind of conversations would I have? Then, to the best of your ability, begin to embody these states in your daily life. This is not about pretending or engaging in wishful thinking. It is about recognizing the creative power of your consciousness and choosing to align it with the version of reality you wish to experience. As you consistently live from this state of fulfillment, you will find that your outer world begins to rearrange itself to match your inner experience. Remember, the universe does not distinguish between what you imagine with feeling and what you experience in the physical world. By living in the end, you are sending a clear and consistent message to the universe about the reality you choose to inhabit. The universe, in its infinite responsiveness, will bring about the conditions necessary to match your inner state. As you practice living in the end, you may encounter moments of doubt or uncertainty. This is natural and to be expected. The key is not to fight against these doubts, but to gently and persistently return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled each time you choose to realign with your desired reality. You strengthen your communication with the universe and accelerate the manifestation process. Now, let us delve into the power of your inner conversations. Every moment or day you are engaged in a continuous dialogue with yourself. These inner conversations shape your beliefs, your expectations, and ultimately your reality. To effectively communicate with the universe, it is crucial to become aware of and deliberately shape these inner dialogues. Begin by paying attention to the habitual thoughts and self-talk that run through your mind. Are they supportive of your desires? Do they affirm your worthiness to receive that which you seek? Or do they undermine your efforts with doubt, criticism, and limitation? Once you become aware of your inner conversations, you can begin to consciously redirect them. Replace thoughts of lack and limitation with affirmations of abundance and possibility. Instead of dwelling on past failures or current challenges, focus your inner dialogue on the successful achievement of your desires. Speak to yourself with the same kindness, encouragement, and unwavering belief that you would offer to a beloved friend. As you master the art of positive inner conversation, you will find that your entire vibration shifts. You begin to radiate confidence, certainty, and positive expectation. This vibrational shift is instantly recognized by the universe, which responds by aligning circumstances and opportunities to match your new inner state. Remember, my dear friends, that learning to communicate with the universe is not a destination but a journey. It is a process of continuous growth, refinement, and expansion. As you practice these principles, you will experience moments of profound alignment and miraculous manifestation. You will also encounter challenges and apparent setbacks. Embrace all these experiences as opportunities for growth and deeper understanding. Trust in the perfect unfolding of your journey. Know that every experience, whether perceived as positive or negative, is guiding you toward the fullest expression of your dear potential. As you maintain this trust and continue to align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the reality you wish to create, you become a powerful creator with the universe. In closing, I invite you to step fully into your power as conscious creators. Recognize that you are not separate from the universe, but an integral part of its infinite intelligence and creativity. As you learn to communicate clearly and consistently with this intelligence, you unlock the boundless potential within you. Go forth with courage, with joy, and with the unshakable knowing that the universe is always listening, always responding, always guiding you toward the highest expression of your true self.